Why are we called Negroes? Why are we deaf, dumb, and blind? Why is everybody making progress, yet we seem to be lagging so far behind? Why are we mistreated? Why are we in this condition? Stripped of our name, our language, our culture, our God, and our religion. Here in America, all of our religious training has been gotten by the preacher. He has told us of a heaven way up in the sky that we can't enjoy now, but rather after we die.
Alaikum.
I love that song. I love that.
It looked like you wanted that music to end.
I didn't. I love that. I love it.
I was vibing with Sister Felicia as well. Assalamu alaikum.
Yes. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, we bear witness that there is no God but Allah and that Muhammad is his messenger. And we like to greet our 7th region coalition audience in the greeting words of peace of Assalamu alaikum. Hotel, peace be unto you. Ashe. What else? What's up? All y'all.
Free to land.
So welcome to tonight's show. We are so excited to be here with you tonight, and we have an awesome experience for you. So get ready and call all your friends, shoot them out on Facebook, share, like this broadcast.
Do it now.
Share, like, broadcast on YouTube, Twitch, Facebook. Share it on Instagram. Tell everybody. So all of our sports fans.
Don't tell everybody. Tell everybody.
Come on in the room, all the sports fans. All the sports fans, come on in the room. You're in for a treat. So let me begin by introducing. Well, first, Brother Tony. What say you? You
want me to go ahead and begin?
No, not yet.
No.
I just thought you might have had something to say. You look like you got something else to say. Okay, so you got.
I'll say all praise is due to Allah. You could introduce everybody else.
Praise be to Allah. Will do. Okay, so who do we have with us tonight? I am back. Praise be to Allah.
You are back.
I am back. Thank Allah. So excited to be with you all. Have missed you and have so much to get you all caught up on. So I am Sister Felicia Muhammad, and I am your universal self-healing facilitator, right? With empowering you to know how to shift that's keeping you stuck, that self-healing inner talk, all right? And
you should have all that written out instead of just co-host.
Right.
I don't know if it's enough letters. No, I'm just kidding. And so we have right here, we have our talented brother, Tony Muhammad, who is in the ministry, 7th region in Miami, our regional headquarters. So thank you so much, Brother Tony, for all that you do with inspiring, pushing the program, bringing people out, saying a kind word, teaching the children, being an example. We really honor and appreciate you and thank Allah for every action that you do in the cause of
We
Allah.
thank Allah for you for helping the 7th Region Coalition to help develop further in the
Praise
cause
be
of
to
saving
Allah.
lives.
Thank you, thank you,
Because
thank you.
the 7th Region Coalition to help save lives has expanded and developed because of your work and your influence, dear sister, and we thank you.
Praise be to Allah. Yes, yes. And over here, right in this corner, we have our astute brother Philip Mohammed, who is the 7th Regional Protocol Director and definitely extraordinaire in every phase of action that he takes as he courses this planet. Thank you, brother Philip, for your what's the word I'm looking for?
Je ne sais quoi, le je ne sais
Hard
quoi.
work and dedication.
Yeah, your hard work, your dedication, the way you zhuzh things up, and get us all excited with these different ideas you have for the show. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Yes, yes.
Alhamdulillah.
Yes, thank you, thank you, thank you for being a key component to the 7th Region and the nation at large. All right, globally, all right, internationally, worldwide. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Great example. And last and certainly not least, we have the left heartbeat of the 7th Region Coalition. She said, "Oh." We have the left heartbeat of the Southern Region, and our regional minister, Brother Patrick, is the right. So we got his left heartbeat on here. Our beloved, talented, multifaceted master, the Khalila Muhammad. Thank you so much for continuing.
Original salute.
Mantle, original salute. Yes,
I'm just trying to be like you when I grow up, Sister Felicia. That's it.
Hey, we reflections of each other. When I'm down here, you pull me up. When you down here, I pull you up. That's what we do.
Bear witness. Absolutely.
That's what we do. That's what we do.
Absolutely.
So, and we welcome all of our phenomenal guests. Those of you who are here every week, thank you, thank you, thank you. We love you. We appreciate you, and we want to continue to serve you. So definitely send forth your ideas of the different topics you would like for us to discuss. Any
your
people you want to bring back. Yes, this is your platform, and we want to know how we can continue to support you in helping you to empower you to save your own life, because nobody else is going to do it but you. And we're here to give you the information to support you in being able to know how to do it, what it looks like, and be an example for you. So with that, over to you, Brother Tony.
All praise due to Allah. Thank you, Sister Felicia. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, I bear witness to the oneness of Allah who came in the person of Master Fard Muhammad, the Supreme Being, to whom holy praises are forever due. I am forever thankful to Almighty God Allah for raising from among us, showing his divine favor among Black people and the aboriginal peoples of the earth, that one that would be raised, and it has been raised. I thank Allah for the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, the exalted Christ, and now Mahdi, the eternal leader of the nation of Islam. And I thank Allah for the one in our midst today that is continuing to teach the multitudes of our people, fulfilling the scriptures in which we are told that we would be given a comforter. And he has comforted us, and he is guiding us. I thank Allah for the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. Assalamu alaikum, peace be unto you. Buenas noches, sak pase, Frida Land, Abaragani. Greetings in every greeting that our people may be greeting each other in. Welcome to the 7th Region Coalition to Help Save Lives broadcast, which is Thursday Night Talks. Thursday Night Talks was assembled, really not just Thursday Night Talks, but the 7th Region Coalition to Help Save Lives was assembled by our student regional minister, Student Minister Patrick Muhammad, soon after the criterion message of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, which took place on July 4th, 2020. And our original purpose was to guide our people to safety in a time of unsurety. But today, we are guiding our people still through the 9 ministries and giving more clarity and the proper perspective, proper view that we should have in this time of how to save lives. And we do that with the guidance of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. The 9 ministries were developed by him in the midst of the Millions More movement in 2005. And tonight, the ministry that we are focusing on is the Ministry of Arts and Culture, which encompasses sports, as I will read in just a moment. Because some people may be thinking, like, Ministry of Arts and Culture, isn't that like, performances or whatever? Well, sports is a performance.
Mm-hmm.
It has to do with how you perform and excel in certain endeavors. The Ministry of Arts and Culture is the promotion of the aesthetic, artistic, and cultural expression in a way that facilitates mental, emotional, and moral upliftment of the members of the society. It includes visual and performing arts, including but not limited to music, film, dance, drama, literature, poetry, visual arts, and sports. It includes promotion of theater companies, audiovisual recordings, presentations, competitions, and compilations, and an annual festival of the arts. It extends to a wholesome sports culture for athletic competition and achievement. And the guests that we have here tonight on the 7th Region Coalition to Help Save Lives broadcast, we look forward to talking with them because they not only have a strong history of sports, but they are registered members of the Nation of Islam. And we're going to go more into that in just a moment. And with that, if Brother Philip, can you, if you could read bio, Brother Philip?
Absolutely, brother. How are you feeling this evening, sir?
I'm doing fine. Praise be to Allah.
Good, good. Listen, man. So I don't.
Brother Philip,
down here
before you read the bio, what do you have on? It says three-headed monster.
It's the 3-headed monsters, brother. You don't know nothing about that, brother?
What was that about, bro?
That's the Ice Cube. That's the Big Three. You know the Big Three basketball league, the Ice Cube.
Who was involved in that? What? Abdul Rauf. Come on now.
Yeah, that is that's the Ice Cube league, the Big Three, right? And one of my favorite players, man, in the Big Three was the brother formerly known as Chris Jackson, right? Who was trying to see if I could find. We won't go into too much, but that's the Ice Cube league. I figured it was appropriate. I don't get a chance to wear my jersey too often, so I figure we're doing a professional sports show. And even though our guests are predominantly football players, also I wear it. And in fact, I got one of these as well for our student chief of protocol, brother Abdul Rauf Muhammad, who was up there in Chicago. When I seen it, I was like, I'm gonna get 2 of these, one for me and one for our chief of protocol, our beautiful brother Abdul Rauf. And because brother Abdul Rauf, or Mahmoud Abdul Rauf, when he was in the NBA, he was one of the first ones that when they did the Star Spangled Banner and they would sing, and he would sit on the bench and he would do it in protest. This was pre-Kaepernick, and he's not the first one to do it, but sports has always been a way to infuse your own beliefs. You know what I mean? And it's been shunned on, right? With LeBron James, they told LeBron James, shut up and dribble the ball, right? Well, we having a show tonight that's a little different. We'll get into a little bit more. But before we do that, I want to introduce you to the guests that we have on the show this evening. Is that all right with y'all?
That's all right with me.
Come on, beloved.
And in the same thing, I'm also we are in a terrible storm down here in Miami. Like what just came through, we still having some glitches. So I'm a little slow on this end with my internet. I don't know if you all are catching me late, if there's a pause or a delay. But when I tell you there was a lightning and thunderstorm, the Honorable Louis Farrakhan has told us to watch the weather. And it don't mean stand outside and just like watch the weather. Like, no, it means we must study these patterns that are occurring because they're becoming more and more and more intense. And we are in a hurricane season that they just said that they downgraded the number of hurricanes from 24 to 22, right? Like, make a big deal about downgrading them, right? But 2 hurricanes. So here in the 7th region, we got to be very careful with that. You're right. Let's get on with that part. So we are blessed to have our brother who's born in New Orleans, Louisiana, in the year of our Lord, 1971. Brother Sean grew up in a small town called Algiers, Louisiana. He began participating in football and track and field as a preteen at the local park in Algiers called McDonough Park. And after his Pop Warner days, Brother Sean attended Edna Carr Junior High in Algiers, Louisiana, where he played basketball during the 7th and 8th grade years, and he decided to play football once the school district made the budget cuts and decided to eliminate the basketball program. Likely story in all of our neighborhoods, right? So Brother Sean did so well in football. He earned a reduced tuition scholarship at St. Augustine Senior High in New Orleans, while at St. Augustine, Brother Sean proved to be one of the better athletes in the state of Louisiana, earning him a scholarship to Florida State University in Tallahassee, Florida. During his time at Florida State, he earned the MVP Player Award in the 1992 Cotton Bowl and was one of the key contributors to Florida State's first national championship team. And Brother Sean's success at Florida State led him to being drafted by the Houston Oilers in 94, where he played for 2.5 seasons. And Brother Sean was introduced to Islam by one of his teammates in college at Florida State. Once he got to Houston, he met Student Regional Minister Abdul Halim Muhammad, formerly Brother Robert Muhammad, and Minister Abdul was a great influence in Brother Sean's life and his decision to become a registered Muslim in the Nation of Islam, where he did in November of 1997 at Muhammad's Mosque number 46 in New Orleans. So Brother Sean has 5 children, 4 daughters, and 1 son, and is currently in Jacksonville, Florida, with his beautiful wife, our
Who is she?
dear sister, Khalila Muhammad.
Bring
on Brother Sean with an exuberant round of applause, ladies and gentlemen.
All right.
Oh, Brother Sean.
There he is.
Those stars, Sean.
Brother Philip, I'll read Brother Tim's bio. And so we have, he's popularly known as Tim Newton. Today he's known as Brother Timothy Muhammad. He was born in Orlando, Florida in 1963. He attended Jones High School in Orlando and played for the Jones Tiger High School football team. Brother Tim accepted an athletic scholarship to attend the University of Florida in Gainesville, Florida, where he played for the Florida Gators 1981 to 1984. As a senior in 1984, Brother Tim was a first-team All-Southeastern Conference selection and a second-team All-American. The Minnesota Vikings selected Brother Tim in the 6th round, 164th pick overall of the 1985 NFL Draft. As a defensive tackle, he played for the Vikings for 5 seasons from 1985 to 1989. He also played for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in 1990 and 1991 and the Kansas City Chiefs in 1992 and 1993. In his 9-season NFL career, Brother Tim played in a total of 108 regular season games. and started 47 of them. In 1991, while playing for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, he became a registered member of the Nation of Islam. And so please welcome Brother Timothy Muhammad with a great round of
applause.
Brother Tim. Wow,
you're on
man.
mute, beloved. You're on
Thank you all
mute.
so much for being on the show, brethren.
There you go.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Oh, praise be to Allah. So we want to begin the program, Brother Timothy, if I may. Brother Timothy, you what is usually this is like an anomaly, but you became a registered member of the Nation of Islam while being in the NFL. How did your training as an FOI, that means Fruit of Islam, help you overcome challenges you faced and maybe still facing in the league?
First of all, in the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, I bear witness that there is no God but Allah, who appeared in the person of Master Farah Muhammad. I further bear witness that the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad is the exalted Christ, and the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan is our divine reminder in our midst. It is in their names that I greet you, beloved, and thank you for having me on your show with the greeting words of peace and paradise. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum
Wa
salam.
alaikum
Wa
salam.
alaikum salam, sir.
Well, brother, man,
As we say in the mosque, Brother Timothy, take your time.
Take your
Yes,
time.
sir.
Take your time.
when I
Time.
well, let me just give a backdrop. I got introduced to Islam in my senior year, and there's my beloved minister, Salam Alaikum, my spiritual father, Minister James Muhammad. I got introduced to Islam by a friend of mine, who I affectionately call my brother. May Allah be pleased with him, Leonard Kuku Williams. I got introduced to Islam in '84. He was over in Germany. He got a tape, and he was in Germany. He called me. He was coming home, and he said, "Brother, I got a tape you need to hear." And brother, you got to hear this tape. And the brother gave me the tape, and the tape was Minister Farrakhan. And I listened to this tape, brother, and it blew my mind. I searched. Long story short, I started studying Islam, and I tried to join the Nation of Islam in Minnesota. I was in Minnesota, and I couldn't find a mosque. So when we would go to Chicago, I would go to the mosque and meet with the brothers. They would come by my hotel room. I got the books, and I even was just studying so hard and just reading about the minister. I was still in the world. I was doing worldly things, drinking, smoking. I was,
Yes, sir.
And but I was Sister Patricia Muhammad. I don't know if you all are familiar with her. She worked in the Final Call. May Allah be pleased with her. She would send me final calls every 2 weeks. I was getting final calls. And I was in the world. And so I would get these final calls. I wanted to be an FOI. I wanted to be like these brothers so bad. And I'm gonna have to say it, I was in the clubs and whatnot, but I was taking my papers to the club. And I was sitting in the club drinking and passing out final call newspapers. I mean, it was crazy. But once I got to Tampa, I found the mosque, was introduced to the mosque, and found the mosque. And that first day I joined on. And a couple weeks later, this beautiful man from New York City came, Minister James Muhammad, and he ushered me, for 2 years, and trained me. He and Brother Stanley Muhammad trained me, and I went through when you first get in Islam, it's like you know, you Brother Sean, you know, all you brothers know, and you sisters too, you know, you can't get enough of it. And so it changed me because I was like I said, I was drinking and smoking it, but once I got into Mars, all of that stopped. You know, it all just stopped. And you know, I was under Brother Stanley and under Minister James and a lot of beautiful brothers and sisters in the mosque, and but I was still in the, you know, playing football. And you know, when I was playing football, you know, I was in trouble a lot. When I was in Minnesota, I think I had like four DWIs. Uh, and so every team that I went to, I was under a testing program. And so I had to be tested every week, you know, and as the season went on, every 2 weeks. And, you know, when they start seeing something different about this guy, you know, the testing started slowing down. And but it was just a miraculous change. And but it's a flip side of that too, because it's like these teams, they want you to be, you know, they want you to be in the world. You know, they want you to be not only in the world but of the world. You know, because that's how they control you. See, if you got a weakness or something like that, then you controllable.
Yes, sir.
And I don't want to just belabor, but one of the things that happened in my Islam, I was in Tampa in 90 and 91. And I was, I really was playing good ball. And so in 92, we got a new coach, Sam Weiss. And my contract was up, and I led the defensive line in tackles and sacks, and I took the job from another guy. And you know, so you know, the guy, they wanted, when you're in the world and of the world, when you out here doing these crazy drinking, smoking, staying in trouble, they can control you. When contract time comes, they got leverage. Well, they didn't have this leverage with me anymore. You know, that's one of the things I attribute that to my to the Islam. They didn't have the leverage anymore. So when my contract came time, you know, now I'm sit. You know, they don't want to sign me. And so the crazy thing about it, they eventually, like the last preseason game, they signed me. And big contract, biggest contract of my career. And I was getting on the plane. We were going down to play Miami. I got on the plane, and the way I look now, this is how I got on the plane, suited and booted. And Sam Weiss and a couple other coaches, they were sitting at the back watching everybody come on the plane. And when I walked on the plane, I said, "Good evening, gentlemen." I was going to my seat, and she said, "Hey, come here." I said, "Yes, sir." I turned around. He said, "You're going to have everybody dressing like that soon, aren't you?" And I said, "Well, I hope so." And we laughed. And so I walked back to my seat. And when I played, the next day they released me. The next day they released me. And see, back then, wasn't no guaranteed money. You know that about that. Well, Sean, you was a different era. But it wasn't guaranteed money. The contract wasn't a guaranteed contract. You had to play to get paid. So the next day released me. I signed a 4-year, $1.5 million contract. And but they released me the next day, and I missed that whole season because now, you know, the season was getting ready to start, and it was hard to get picked up. And back then, because the rosters were different, and everything's different now. So I missed the whole season, and but that Islam was Islam and its transformative power, and so that's you know I got picked up by Kansas City the following year. I played 2 years. I played 1 year in Kansas City. The second year, in training camp, I broke my neck, and so soon after that, I retired. I hope I answered your question.
You just gonna drop that like that, brother Timothy.
Right.
I broke my neck, but it's all right. That ain't no thing.
Well, I mean, I
Small
don't
thing to a giant.
I don't want to. I can. I mean, I can continue to go on and on and on, but I just,
yes, sir.
come back to
Sir,
that.
yes, sir. Well, thank you, man. Thank you, brother, for breaking that down. And I can see that people are joining in, man, and they're really intrigued, especially about that part where just got on the plane and then they let you go. And I touched a little bit on it, brother Sean, as we were opening up on what was the influence that led you to the Nation of Islam in your sojourn. But can you talk a little bit yourself? What motivated you to join the Nation of Islam, so early in your professional football career?
In the name of Allah, the Beneficent and Merciful, I bear witness that there is no God but Allah, who came to us in the person of Master Farad Muhammad, to whom all praise is due forever. I thank Allah for the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, the living, the exalted Christ, the Messiah, and his family. I also thank him for the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, who we know to be the Jesus in our midst today, for his sacrifices for his family as well. I'd like to greet the host of the Seven Region Podcast in the greeting words of Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam, sir.
And Brother Philip, I thank you for the question. As you stated when you introduced me, I was introduced to actually the Nation of Islam while I was in college. I believe it was my junior year of college. By one of my teammates, Omar Ellison. He grew up a Muslim. That was my first time ever hearing of the Nation of Islam. And he shared with me a Final Call newspaper, which I read partially, but he piqued my interest. During that time, we had a conversation about the dietary laws. And, just listening to him describe what was in the pig, that one conversation got me to stop eating pork, immediately. Omar and I, we didn't have any other conversations about Islam after that. However, once I got drafted by the Houston Oilers, I ran into some brothers there that were out selling the Final Call newspaper. And they invited me out to a meeting, which I did attend. And I was introduced to formerly Minister Robert Muhammad, now Minister Abdul Halim. And he took me under his wing. At that time, I accepted the teachings, but I didn't complete the process. But I was going to my classes. So I read Message to the Black Man. And on our way to one of our scrimmages, I'm on the bus and I'm reading the 7 speeches by Minister Farrakhan. So that put me in a different mood. So before the scrimmage, I say maybe a day before the scrimmage, there was this big gathering. And, I'm just sitting on the picnic table and I'm saying to myself, excuse my language, but I don't want to be around all these crackers. That was my mentality after reading 7 speeches. And so I remember a brother came and walked up to me and he encouraged me to start mingling with people, right? During my first year, I ended up, getting injured, breaking my collarbone. So I went back to New Orleans for a little while, and Mr. Farrakhan was speaking at UNO Lakefront Arena, Let Us Make Man. and he was doing he was making these tours around the country to gather people to go to the Million Man March.
That's right.
And
I remember that time, Brother
man,
Yes,
Sean.
sir.
after listening to the minister, I said, I don't care if I'm on this team or not. If we have a game, I'm going. So the year came by. I made arrangements with, I want to say Brother Dwayne was either the student secretary. I don't think he was the minister of Mos 46 at the time. But Dwayne and I, we were good friends all through high school, played football together. And my first time visiting Mos 46, I noticed that it seemed like everybody that I knew from high school was in the mosque. So that was further confirmation that I need to look further into this. So we took a trip. I drove from Houston, went to New Orleans, picked up Dwayne and another good friend of mine, Robert, and we drove from New Orleans all the way up to D.C. to go to the Million Man March. After that, I ended up going back to the team, played through a couple of preseason games, and ended up getting released sometime in, I want to say that was, I want to say August of like 96. And the guy told me when I showed up, he said, because I was late coming from treatment, he said, man, if you had got here 30 seconds sooner, I wouldn't have cut you. So that led to me packing everything up, going back to New Orleans and going back to the mosque, in which at that particular point in time, it was a whole year later, in November of 1997, I decided to complete the process and become a registered Muslim in the Nation of Islam.
Praise be to Allah.
Wow, what a story. Thank you, my brother.
Praise be to Allah.
Thank you.
So, okay, so becoming a registered believer of the Nation of Islam, we're here now, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So how did becoming a registered member of the Nation of Islam change your perspective in regards to sports? I know I can't call you Sean, Brother Sean. I'm going to call you Sean because you are my husband. Sean, how did it change your perspective as it relates to the sports world?
I don't think it really changed my perspective as far as sports. But what I do believe is after becoming a registered Muslim in the Nation of Islam and learning about the importance, of marriage and, just having that person by your side to kind of ground you. I believe that if I had that, then my NFL career probably would have gone somewhat differently because I would have done things differently. And I was no different than anybody else. I was in the world. I smoked. I went out to clubs. I drank. I mishandled women. But coming to the Nation of Islam, you learn better. Another thing, I believe that being in the Nation of Islam, you also learn better of the quality of foods that you should put into your body. So the things that I was doing back then, I mean, although I wasn't eating pork or anything like that, I probably would have took my my dietary situation a lot more serious.
Yes, sir.
And Brother Tim, with you, the same question. How when you became a registered member of the Nation of Islam, how did it change your perspective in regards to the sports world?
Well, as I said, I became a FOI while playing football. The more I spent time with the believers. And the more I studied, it naturally did something to me. It was bringing me back to myself. I was getting a clear picture of who I am. You know, in football, Sean can attest. They, you know, and it starts young. Gladiator, warrior. You know, no pain, no gain. You gotta love it. Well, when we come into Islam, we're given the knowledge of self and the knowledge of God. So now this love shifts, you know, and it's not football. Well, first, I never wanted to play professional football. So let me go there.
Okay.
That was not a dream of mine. I wanted to be a police officer, a state trooper. I went to school for criminal justice. That's what I tell everybody, but you know, anyway. But so that was never a dream of mine. So I tell people all the time, I was living somebody else's dream.
Wow.
So when I came into Islam and I started getting all this knowledge, and I saw the brotherhood and, you know, the real genuine love. You know, in football, the thing that unites you is winning games. See, you'll unite with a white boy better than you will with a brother in football if he can do what needs to be done to win. So that's, you know, everybody that one mind, one sound, one voice, you know. But as I start getting the knowledge of self and the knowledge of God, the natural inclination to God started happening. You know, and then it came back to me and said, damn, I only want to be here anyway. You know, and then what happened with me in Kansas, Tampa Bay, when I got into Islam, and immediately I got tested, got released, sat out a whole year, had to train for a year. But at the same time, training for a year, but I'm in the mosque. I'm with Minister James. I'm with Brother Stanley. I'm talking about two soldiers.
Right. They're witness.
You see, you know, and so I'm getting this training, and I'm training and working out, you know, and so the natural inclination, you know, football wasn't as important. Football actually became a job. See, for a lot of our players, it's your life. See, you know, it's your life. I was trying to get out of the league, but my family, I'm finna tell on them. My family, you know, I'll sit down at the end of every year and have a meeting with the family and say, look, I don't want to do this no more. Man, come on, Dad. Oh, man. You know, the wife, the children. God, you crazy. What you mean? You so, you know. No, I said, I want to, you know. You know, I wanted to do what I'm doing now.
Right.
See, it was just a natural process.
Wow.
You know, you can't go to Savior's Day, and you can't go to the different events. You just can't go to the meeting and sit up under that kind of life and power and it not affect you and start moving you. See, surely I'm being turned. See, Allah was turning me. See, he was turning me into the, like I said, I was, and it dawned, I said, damn, I'm living somebody else's dream.
Yes, sir.
This ain't my dream. I thought I wanted to be a police officer, but I really wanted to be a FOI. That's the real police officer. You know, so for me, that's what it was, you know. And so now, Brother Philip, when I broke my neck, that was my out. When I broke my neck, and when I got up and I came up and I got my senses back, and you know, because when I broke my neck, it felt like a lightning bolt hit me. I don't know what a lightning bolt feel like, but you know, and everything that these coaches and mindsets taught me about being tough, in that moment, I said, I can't do it. I can't be tough like that. I can't be not having feelings and not having emotions. I can't do that in that moment. And I just, you know, I collapsed. And then when I came to, I said, I'm done. I knew then that I was done. I didn't know my neck was broke. But and I mean, a guy was able to get up and walk around, but I knew something was wrong. And so it took a couple months. They told me I had a burner. You know, Sean, you know, you got a burner. Oh, you got a burner,
Yes,
you
sir.
know. And, but that's, for me, I knew I was done, and that was my way out. That was my opportunity to tell my family, hey, look, your daddy broke his neck. He done. I can't do it no more. So that was my way out.
Wow.
You know, and
Yes, sir.
so here I am today. All praises due to Allah. I still have some problems with the neck, but, you know, I'm able to do the work of our Father.
Praise be to Allah. Praise be to Allah. Okay, so this question is for both of you all, and thank you for this wonderful lead-in, Brother Timothy. So how do you deal with or maintain long-term injuries after your professional career is over, such as, you know, Brother Timothy, you can build on this, the neck injury, and Brother Sean, you know, the collarbone, and it's no coincidence that both of you all, the injuries, major injuries, are to the neck in that region, that fifth chakra. Oh my goodness. And it's a whole lot of emotional energy that goes along with the whole frequency of the neck. So that's another show though. So so Brother Timothy, we can start with you so you can continue to build on that, and then go to Brother Sean.
So what's the question again?
The question is, how do you deal with or maintain long-term injuries after the professional career is over? So how are you dealing with managing the broken, you know, the broken neck? You say you still having some challenges with it. So how are you
I broke, I said a broke neck, but let me clarify what that in some cases. So I had a C5, C6 neck fusion. In my particular case, they went in through the front of my neck, took a bone out of my hip, and took the damaged, bone out, and fused that piece of bone in between the C5, C6. So I have motion, but I can only go so far with it. So I'm, you can't walk up behind me, and if you walk up, if somebody, I tell my wife all the time, don't sneak up behind me, because you could really cause a lot of problems, because the way you react, the way I just react, you snap,
Right.
and you can, so I have a lot of pain. I'm in pain constantly with that, but it's pain management. How do you deal with it? Pain management. You got to know when to say no. I can't go in, Brother Sean, and do squats, put 300 pounds on. I used to put the squats on it.
That's right.
I can't do that. You have to know your limitations. But I mean, you can see this finger right here. I think I broke that about 5 or 6 times. This finger here, the cartilage is gone in it. Broke the left arm. I think I broke my right leg. Excuse me. And I don't have a posterior cartilage in the back of the posterior is the back of your leg. I popped that, so I don't have a posterior in that left leg. So I mean, I had quite a few injuries. Also, of course, with the what Sean and I was talking about earlier, got some issues with that. Some depression and anxiety that I have to deal with. Uh, it's really it's really difficult sometimes to talk about it. And
Yes, sir.
Because you know, one of those, watching football. I watch football, and I'm amazed at what I watch the athletes go out. Oh yeah, and I got a bone bruise in my right thigh where a dude knee went into my right thigh and bruised it all the way to the bone. That's just like, you might as well get shot. You rather get shot than to get that happen to you.
Wow.
And sometimes I can feel that even today. But I watch football now, and I'm amazed at how the athletes go out there. They ain't got nothing on. They don't have no protection. And they're, I think they're much more physical to some degrees than we were. And maybe it's because we were, man, if you saw me in a uniform, I had it all on. Thigh pads, knee pads. So I had it all on, taped up, I mean, maybe I had it on because I was so broke up, And but I just don't. If I had it all to do over again, knowing what I know now, I wouldn't play because it is a violent sport.
Yes,
and so the guys getting 10, 12, 13, 30, $40 million a year, you better get all you can, because when you get through, you're gonna have a lot to deal with. So that's my.
Yeah.
I hope I answered your question.
I want Sean to answer that question, because he's getting very emotional.
Yeah.
And I really want to know also too, in regards to that. Babe, are you okay?
Yes, I'm fine.
Okay.
Yeah. It's like that.
In the name of Allah, beneficent, the merciful.
Take your time, Brother Sean.
For me, I didn't incur the type of physical injuries that Brother Tim had to deal with. From Pop Warner all the way up through NFL. I broke my collarbone 3 times. One side twice, and then one. I think that was the left side twice, the right side once.
Damn.
2 of those times, I continued playing until I couldn't play anymore. But for me, the injury that I deal with, and it's probably still evident today by how I'm reacting to this question.
Mental.
Yes, the mental.
Yes, sir.
And I don't know how much of this I can attribute to, at the time, me being associated with the Nation of Islam.
Yes, sir.
But because I fell in love with the nation, I know I mentioned about me reading the minister's books on the bus and things of that nature. I used to have my Quran and my final call in my locker, and it got to the point where some of my teammates like Michael Barrows and Chris Dishman, they start calling me Muhammad on the practice field.
Yes, sir.
And I kind of had to calm him down, on doing that, But when you know the type of athlete you were, for myself coming out of high school, I was a top athlete in the nation.
Hmm.
And, from Pop Warner, even through high school and college, the game is fun. It's not really about the politics of it, you
Mm.
know.
Go
But
ahead.
when you get into the NFL, it
Go
can
ahead.
be very political,
Go ahead, brother.
and very cold.
Go
So
ahead.
unlike Brother Tim, you know, that was my dream. I told my mom when I was like 6, 7 years old, I'm going to the NFL.
Hmm.
You know, my favorite player used to be Franco Harris. You
That's
know,
right.
and all I can remember is the immaculate reception. You know, and coming up through middle school, Herschel Walker. I used to put my overcoat on and go outside, like right when the sun is going down, so you can
Yes,
see
sir.
that shadow in front of you. And I was Herschel Walker.
Yes,
Hmm.
sir.
I get my football picture to myself, and I'm running full speed up the street. You know, and you know, I think those things as a child kind of led me to my successes because I did it over and over and over again. But when you know you have the ability to play a sport that you love and you're not able to do it anymore, and it's not because you can't do it, you know, for me, I do believe that I was depressed for some years, especially having to go back to New Orleans. And now I think people are looking at me differently, you
Mhm.
know. Well, he couldn't even last in the NFL. This is me thinking this. Nobody ever told me this, you
Mhm.
know? And going from making the kind of money that you're making to now you're working at a front desk of a hospital or you're you're doing security work, none of it is making the ends meet like you wanted, like you had it before. And my goal was always to make it back to the NFL, you know, and that's where it became kind of political for me. And I knew that I was better than other people, you
Yes,
know, and it kind of hurt me to my soul, that I didn't have the opportunity to get a second chance,
Mhm.
you know. And what I learned from that was I had to do a lot of praying, a lot of self reflection.
yes, sir.
I had to lean on my friends that I thought was looking at me in a different manner, until I
Mhm.
realized that they were not. My true friends, they were exactly that. They were my true friends. They never looked at me any differently. They never stopped wanting to be around me because I was not playing in the NFL anymore. And sometimes the healing part doesn't happen immediately,
Yes, sir.
or whether it be physical or mental, because some of the physical injuries you don't realize the effects of them until years down the line. And my wife can kind of attest to some of the things that I deal with now. And I don't know if it's because of any injuries that I've had in the NFL, but I was a person. I wasn't a big weight room person, but at any given point in time, I can go in and max out with a bench of 300 pounds. You know, and now um, I got to call on my wife to lift a lot of things. You know, um,
Mm, mm, mm,
there's something going on there's something going on in my body that has caused me to gradually lose strength. And haven't been able to figure out a solution. I've gone to doctors, things of that nature, but to be able to lift 10 pounds is a struggle.
Oh, brother.
To get up by yourself is a struggle. And that's a part of the mental abuse that I have on myself as well, because as a man, you always want to be the man physically as well. You don't want to see your wife, lifting things that you can't lift, or, have to call on her to help you up. And it just weighs on you.
Man, when you say that, Brother Sean, that's that part that people don't talk about, right? All of the dreams and aspirations of NFL, NBA is not as as brutal, right? But they definitely got their fair share. But that's that part that people are not talking about, man. So thank you for opening up and sharing that with us in the way that you did it, brother. Because we are the 7th Region Coalition to help save lives, and that right there is helping to save some lives and to prevent some lives from getting damaged in the same way.
Yes, sir. Thank you,
Sister Kalila.
Yes. So I honestly I forgot where I was at. To my baby, and I just want to go over there and hug him, and I can't because I'm on the show.
You walk right over.
Just want to go and just kiss him all over his face, all in his face, all on his nose. All in his eyeballs.
We get it, sister. We get it. Okay.
Trying to be professional.
We get it. We were at question 5, Sister Kalila. Question 5.
All right. Back to the question. And just one, and this is again, this is a highlight, right? This is a and I want to say this too. I think Allah, because Allah is in complete control of everything. Even our so-called what we think is bad and what we so-called think is good. Allah is always in control, and His hands is in everything.
Yes.
So guess what, baby? And let's say if you would have stayed in the lead, child, you probably wouldn't have met me.
You're right about that. Praise be to Allah.
This is your ride or die, brother.
Hey.
Come on, let's talk about it. So,
you're absolutely right.
So praise be to Allah. But not letting
praise be to Allah.
Yeah, not letting you go even further. Because you found the right one, honey. And we're taking it all the way, taking it through the lead, honey. So
I feel much better now.
Ran a pleasure moment.
Praise be to Allah. Yes.
So that being said, do you believe that we need a lead of our own?
Come on.
If that is necessary.
A league?
A lead of our own, like our own lead.
For
the nation.
Like a Nation of Islam league.
Like instead of the NFL, there's quite a few. You got USFL tried to make it happen, the AFL, and from your experiences,
right?
Do you believe that we need a league of our own? Is that a solution?
By the way, we before Brother Sean comments, Brother Tim's wife had to.
Oh,
I love you too, boo. I have to give my beloved wife because but Brother Minister James will literally beat me up if I don't. So I have to give her a big shout out. Brother Sean, a lot of the mental stuff that you're dealing with, I deal with it daily. The anxiety. I mean, I've been in and out of the hospital for the last 6 weeks. Lost over 45 pounds. So dealing with a lot of anxiety, a lot of depression. And I wanted to ask you, you only played 2 years, or did you play 2 years and a couple months?
No, it was no more than 2 years.
Okay, but I want to.
It probably was a little bit shy of the 2 years.
But I still want to offline you,
Yes,
because
sir.
there's some programs out there, bro, that you still might be able to get.
Yes, sir.
And because this thing is real, I was watching everybody, and everybody was laughing but me and you. Because hell no, we don't need a league. We don't need a league. Honorable Elijah Muhammad says sport and play. What is sport and play? Sport and play is to keep your mind off of nation building. See, if I'm out there entertaining sport and play, then I can't what good can I be to my people? See, how can I mean, no, we don't need sport and play. We done did enough sporting and enough playing. That's what's got us in the condition that we're in. See? We need exactly what the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan is giving us.
Teach.
Life, light, and power.
Come on.
Teach.
See? That's what we need. And the programs, the ministries, you see, what you all are doing tonight. Every NFL team and every NBA team, hell, they need 7th regional, what's your name of your program?
7th Region Coalition.
They need a damn coalition.
Save lives.
They need hell because they losing lives.
Come on.
They're entertaining us, but the hell that they going through. See, look at the abuse levels. Look at the road rage. Even in college, look at the University of Georgia. Boy got killed last year out there racing car. See the madness. The boy with the Kansas City Chiefs damn near killed 20 people this summer. Road rage. See, we need guidance. We need guidance. We at the end of this thing. No, we don't need a damn league. We don't we don't need that. That's like putting us in power and doing the same damn thing the devil doing.
Yes, sir.
No. Sean, we're in the right place, brother.
Oh, absolutely. Yes, sir.
Allah hand picked us out of the NFL garbage pile. So we can get on a program like this and tell the world what we need. What we should be doing, how we should be spending our money, how we should be spending the most valuable thing we have, time, healing, self and people. That's what we need.
Yes, sir.
Brother Sean, I wanted to give you an opportunity to comment.
But I want to thank my wife because she's been there for me. She's been there for me, and I can't thank her enough. And I'm grateful that Allah, we've been together now 7 years, and she's been a wonderful helpmeet to me. It's been a rough road, being married is not no lightweight work. And but this sister Tamir Muhammad has been a great help to me. And I thank Allah for it. Love you, sweetheart.
Brother Sean,
Like
before
love.
I ask my question, I wanted to give you an opportunity to respond to that same question if you have anything to add to it, Brother Tim.
Yes, I'll keep it, brother, pretty brief. I feel the same way, brother Timothy feels on that. No, we don't need our own league. You know, we have to remember that when Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan came into the Nation of Islam, he was one of the best musicians, you know, in Boston.
That's right.
Honorable Elijah Muhammad gave him an ultimatum and didn't give him long to make the decision. And the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan gave it up immediately because he saw the value in the Nation of Islam and what the Honorable Elijah Muhammad was teaching.
That's right.
And the same thing applies now. You know, even if we go back to the Honorable, I'm not the Honorable, but Muhammad Ali, he was asked to give it up.
Right.
And he stayed longer than he was supposed to.
Come on.
And you see the end results of that.
Go ahead.
So I think that as a sign to us who are involved in sports during my time and now, you know, Minister Farrakhan may not tell us to get out, you know, but there is a time to leave.
Yes, sir.
Right.
You know, you don't have to be there 15, 20 years.
Come on, man.
Whatever the case may be. You know, even in basketball, LeBron James, he's an anomaly. That may never happen again. You know? But when it comes to a physical sport like football, it's like Brother Tim said, it's going to take us away from our mission.
That's right.
You know, now, do I think that children their parents should allow them to participate? I don't have a problem with that because there is a lot of benefit in team sports.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but as far as creating our own league, no, I'm totally against that. Don't see a need for it.
Yes, sir. And just a side note, Brother Sean, from my understanding, LeBron James spends a good fortune just conditioning his body the way that it is right now, and that's why he's been able to make it last.
Yeah, he spends over $1 million on his body a year.
Right. But
I don't know how much.
Right. On that note, right. On that note, Brother Sean, if you had an opportunity to visit your younger self playing in the NFL, and the same question for you, Brother Timothy, what advice would you give your younger self?
You want me to go answer that first?
Yes, Brother Sean.
Okay. The advice I would give my younger self would probably be to take better care of my body in the early stages. I do believe that because I depended on natural strength and not exercise a lot, you know, with weights, things like that. You know, that has something to do with my injuries, you know, especially when you run into guys, Brother Tim size, you know, strong, maybe twice as strong as you and just as quick. You know, it's like a car accident when you run into guys like that. I would also tell myself now to seek better education on the financial part of it, because coming in the NFL, I mean, I had nobody teaching me about how to handle the little riches that I got. And I think that's even more important today because these youngsters are getting millions of dollars. before they even get drafted into the NFL.
Yeah.
When I was drafted, I think my signing bonus was maybe like 150,000, 47,000 go to the agent. You know, coming out of college, you're feeling yourself, so you're buying cars, trading it in, buying. I mean, I went through 3 cars in about 6 months because nobody told me better, and each one required a down payment because I didn't have any credit. You know, but us black people mostly, we're not taught that coming out of college. You don't see the Caucasians athletes hardly ever having this particular issue, but most of us black athletes, once we get out the league and we can make $1 million a year, we're broke a couple of years after because we didn't have the financial education. So that's the advice that I would give my younger self.
All praise to Allah. Brother Timothy.
Well, the first thing I would do is tell myself to stay close to your father. When I meet young children now and I see them doing good and I see their parents with them, first thing I tell them is, brother, your mother and your father, that's your best friend.
Mm-hmm.
They love you more than anybody. Obey them, listen to them, follow their directions. That's what I would tell myself. Stick with my father and I, we had not a good relationship, not because of him, not hindsight looking back, because, he didn't have a good relationship with his father. So, all he knew was work. So that's all he ever taught us was work. But love and showing love and that type of stuff was difficult for him. But he always had right guidance. Always told us what's right. So, when you get a certain age and, you at the University of Florida and them white folks giving you all this money and giving you all this so-called fake affection.
Beloved.
You tend to, pull away from father. And the other thing I would tell myself, stay away from drugs. Keep your little head in your pants. I got 6 children. I had 3 children in high school. Before my first year, I had 2 children in high school, and going to college, one was on the way. And I was a late bloomer sexual-wise, but when I started, I was like a rabbit. Everything I touched got pregnant. And I love my children, and
yes, sir.
I ended up at the University of, well, I can't tell you. I guess I can. Hell, they can't do nothing about it. They paying athletes now. But I went to the University of Florida because they would help me with my children. I wanted to go to FAM, HBCU. I wanted to do all that, but hell, I had 3 children. And that's the one thing, the way I was raised, I'm going to take care of them children because my daddy took care of me.
Yes, sir.
So, but I would tell myself those things, drugs and alcohol, obey your parents, stick with your parents, and, safe sex, abstinence.
So, Brother Tim, that is a wonderful segue to go into our next question, because we see basketball wives, we see football wives, we've seen the show Ballers with The Rock, which actually opened up the avenue for Denzel Washington's son, which I never even knew that was his son when I was watching the show, and then afterwards it was, and he played ball, and I believe he played at Clark himself. just like our dear brother Abdul Malik Saeed Muhammad, who's up there on the West Coast, who was a star athlete himself over there. I think he played at Clark or Morehouse, one of the two in Atlanta. But Morehouse, thank you so much. And so in saying that, we see basketball wise, football wise, ballers, and shows that exhibit the tumultuous world of love and marriage and the world of sport and play. Like, how do you make that work? Marriage and family, as when you're involved in sports, man. It's some of the athletes that may be watching right now that need balance.
Well, which mind are you talking to? This mind or the other mind?
Come on, beloved. Come on.
There's the answer.
Because I gave you a snapshot of my mind. When I was balling, see, I had the same mind they have. Man, I've been married a few times, and I'm just, but and I ain't gonna tell you which one, but one of my wives told me, when she got pregnant, she told me, you better get a good attorney. You better get the best, because that's what I'm gonna do. You see?
Wow.
At least she told you.
Right.
Yeah, she damn sure did.
She gave with a warning label.
Bruh, soon as she got pregnant. Because I was that dude. She knew that when she married me. And there was a lot of other stuff to go along with it, because I just got introduced to Islam and I told her God is a man, and she was Pentecostal. I said, this book here says God is a man. Elijah Muhammad. I didn't know who Elijah Muhammad was, but I knew who Farrakhan was.
Right.
I said, his daddy said God is a man. I'm around there drinking and smoking and snorting, hollering about God is a man. So I can't blame it all on, it wasn't all her fault. Because she had to do what she had to do, because she had a lunatic in the damn house.
Right.
Wow. So just keeping it G, that basketball, that's the life that our people are living. Mm-hmm. They're living, they call it, I'm living my what? My so-called best life.
Yes, sir.
So any opportunity, did the man give them to get on TV and act the damn fool and call it your best life because you got a few dollars in your pocket? Mm-hmm. You see, that's what we gonna do. Yeah. See, and most of the stuff we see, when you really look at it, the pain and suffering is really going on with the athletes, right, Sean?
Yes, sir.
All the hell that they going through to keep the checks coming. Right. See, sticking the needles in them, on the steroids, going out getting the illicit drugs, because the drugs they giving them ain't working. See, they doing whatever it take to stay on the football field.
Yes, sir.
See, they doing whatever it take to get that next payday. Mm-hmm. See, and then because they don't really show the lives of the football players, they show the lives of the football players. What? Why? See, we can't even see it because we so blind, deaf, and dumb. How they are spending the money. See? So you got to play an extra 2 or 3 years. When do you get out? You can't get out. See, I tried to get out, but the pressure was coming. No, you all right. You gonna be all right. But I'm coming home from work, going straight to bed. Depression. Because I don't want to be there. See, but you got to be there because, you got to live up to what your children want, and you got to live up, and then nobody saying, but baby, how do you really feel? See? See?
Man.
Wow. Thank you,
brother.
Yeah.
Brother Sean, you want to add anything to what Brother Timothy said in terms of love and marriage and professional sports and the challenges as well as the successes?
Um, I think I mentioned this earlier that I wish I had a wife when I was playing.
Hmm.
In particular, this wife that I have right now,
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Talk about
because when you're in the NFL, you're a single man. You you need somebody to talk to, to lay your burdens on, and somebody to kind of get you back on the right track. And when you don't have that person, and I'm not talking about mama. I'm talking about a significant other, somebody you lay down with every night. If you don't have that, then you look to other things, to take away the pain. Drugs, alcohol, other women, sexual relationships with other women,
Go ahead.
you know? And prior to me getting married, I had 3 children, out of wedlock. Um, I believe if I had a wife at that time, I would have been a more grounded person, you know. Um, I know that if I had my wife then, the one that I have now,
MGT.
yeah, MGT, that goes a long way.
Come on,
praises be to Allah.
come on.
It goes a long way. Um, because you have that woman that you want to make sure that she can depend on you. You know, she's going to give you that energy, to go out there and give it another go the next day. She's going to be that counselor for you, that therapist, make you
Yes,
feel
sir.
better,
Yes, sir.
when you're hurting deep down inside.
Yes, sir.
I know this is a little bit off of the having a wife, but
Hmm.
just to back up a little bit, the little time that I played in the NFL, prior to me getting into the NFL, I had a great relationship with my mother. You know, then I got that money,
Hmm.
and I remember the worst thing I could ever remember telling my mama was, "This is my money,"
Hmm.
you know, and I can see now that I was on a downward spiral at that particular point in time,
Mm.
and if it were not for Minister Farrakhan telling us to reconcile with our parents, my relationship with my mother will probably be totally different today. And if I had remained in the NFL, I don't know if I would have heard that message from the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, because it wasn't until 2006, after Hurricane Katrina, uh, that I'm on the phone with my mother, and we had a pretty bad argument.
Mm.
And I reflected on what she said. I immediately called my mother back and apologized to her and told her that
Come on, boo.
I'm doing what Mr. Farrakhan asked me to do, and how much I valued her and respected her, and that I never want to use that tone of language with her again. Well, that caused my mother to change as well. And my wife can attest to this. My mother, she can want for nothing now, you know. Um, and not that I'm the richest man in the world, I'm not even close to it, but I would sacrifice anything for my wife, my mother, my children, because of what the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan taught us. Praise be to Allah.
Praise be to Allah.
Allahu Akbar.
Praises be to Allah. All right. The last question for the night. And this is a beautiful segue to now we are talking about, you being, these wonderful gladiator athletes, now you're turning now into kind of like the dean of sports, right? And when they say the dean, this is the one that, gives counsel to the ones that are now in the lead or having dreams, like you say, Sean, and to become players in the league, or Brother Tim, totally opposite. What encouraging words do you have to give to our young athletes that are coming up in the league? I'm gonna start with you, Tim. Oh yeah.
No, go ahead, Brother Tim.
Well, when I have the opportunity to speak with young brothers that's in the league now or getting ready to preparing to go into the league, I have a grandson that's in the 11th grade this year, and the constant thing that I always tell him, I told him, said, we have a team. The team consists of your mother, your father, your brother, and myself. That's your team. Because we all love you. You got your coaches, and that's your coach. But you got a team. The team is a support system. I have a relationship with my grandson that he can come tell me anything. And I won't judge him. If you're wrong, I'm going to tell you you're wrong. If you're right, I'm going to tell you you're right. But I'm not going to judge you. And then I'm going to strive to give you the soundest advice that I can.
Right.
See, whatever conversation you have with me, that's a conversation with you and I. But if it's going to affect you in a negative way, I will tell your mother.
Right.
See, your mother is your mother. Mm-hmm. Obey your mother. Your father is your father. Obey your father. What they say, go. See, if you're going to play football, you're going to get your grades first. And that's what brothers in college, I tell them, get your grades, because football ain't going to last forever. Get your education. Just don't want to be a football player. Hell, want to be a doctor, a lawyer, physical therapist, school teacher. Want to be something else, because one day this is going to end, and then what? See, and then get your relationship right with God. God is the head. That's what I tell brothers now. If you're going to play football, work your craft. If you're going to do it, do it.
That is excellent.
But
excellent advice.
I tell them to get a team. You're going to get an agent. Make sure your mom and dad the team going to choose the agent. Don't let an agent come to your house and to get you at the restaurant, with some other cats, and y'all sitting around the table and y'all talking money. No, that's the biggest trick out there. That's the trick of the devil.
Come on, beloved.
Get your team together, and then, no, you sit down with my team. Damn, my mama cooking. Come to the house. We're going to sit down with my team, my mama, my daddy, or my mama, boy, whoever. I got a team, my coach. See, what you got to offer me. Kids, they going to college now, and they getting paid in college now. They just passed. The NFL, they lost the lawsuit, and the government said you got to pay them now. So now when they coming out of high school, they getting paychecks. When they go to college, they getting a check. See? So I said, told my clients, we got a team. See? We got a team. When the colleges, when the coaches come, they got to come and sit down in front of the team. See, this is what we want. We want him to 4 years of education. We want him to graduate. He's a 3.5 student. We want he can go to college and graduate.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. See, so that's what I tell guys. What your team look like, bro? Well, I got my agent. I know you got an agent, but what's your team? You should have a team before you get an agent. Your team with the agent.
Come on.
See?
Excellent.
You know, when you go to the Mars, go to the Mars, and you come out of processing class, you got a captain, you got a minister, you got a secretary.
That's right.
You got a protocol director. That's your team.
Come on.
You see this, the secretary gonna say, look, this is what you need to do charity-wise. The captain gonna say, hey, look, get with that lieutenant because he gonna teach you how to soldier and fish. See, because, you know, we come into this, that our job is the resurrection of the dead.
That's right.
See, and the minister, he's going to administrate all of it. He's going to balance it out. See? So then we got to have this same mechanism in place when we dealing with our Minister Rasul. This is what he told me, and I'll end on this. Minister Rasul said, brother, when you play football, brother, you didn't play football to be a football player. You played football to get the knowledge of it, to bring it out, because all knowledge is transformative. You know, you can take it to another area. See, you know, the things that we learn, Sean, in football,
yes, sir.
we learned in football, we have to take some of those things now and we have to, you know, bring them into the nation. And, you know, one of the things that kind of just threw me off when I came out, I said, well, damn, how? You know, the brotherhood wasn't what I wanted. I wanted the brotherhood to be like the football. Everybody was, you know, we were being practiced fighting like cats and dogs, but you better not try to fight him. See, whether it be white or black, it didn't give a damn. That's my man. See, I say, so we got to be, that was an artificial brotherhood, but we got a brotherhood in the Nation of Islam that's a true brotherhood.
That's right. That's
you
right.
See what I'm saying? And so we got to be one. Our sole purpose is to deliver the 30 to 40 million to the Lamb of God. That's our sole purpose. And so therefore now we have to take the team. We have to take the heads in the mom. We have to take the Tony. We have to take the Kalila. We have to take the Philip, and we have to get under the program that they present to us and work it like this. See, like working like we're trying to what? Win the gold. We're trying to win the championship.
Huh?
We're trying to deliver the dead to the Lamb of God.
That's right.
So I'm like,
Brother Tim, it seemed like we might have to do a part 2.
Right.
Part 2, ladies and gentlemen, is coming up. Thank you so much, my brother, for
praise be to Allah.
To both of y'all, man, for opening up the way that you did. And I believe this conversation has been long overdue, you know, as a collective and as individuals, man, you know, as we pulling this together. And we getting ready, we gonna land this plane right now. And in saying that, we want to make sure that everybody that is watching, you know what we do. We see you, Brother James. We pray,
James, my minister.
We pray you get
started. Brother James.
And you know, myself as well, Brother Timothy, I registered in Muhammad's Mosque number 47.
What? See, that's what we should be hollering about. 47 in the house.
which funny enough, and then we got Brother Sean with just 48. You know 48? What I'm saying? Right there. So it's all in divine order. So to everybody that's been watching us tonight, thank you for staying with us. Because this was one of our longest shows, man, but it ain't seemed like it. Because it
did not.
You know, time flies when you're having fun, you know, and this kind of fun was that knowledge fun, that open your heart fun, that gets some healing type of fun. So all praise to Allah. Brother Tony, I think you want to share something, right, with our viewers.
Absolutely. Beloved family, if you enjoyed tonight's program and you would like to see more programs just like it, you can visit our YouTube page. But in order to ensure that we continue to bring this quality program to you, mind you, this is a labor of love, but the streaming platforms that we're using, they're not free. We do need your support. And we thank you for whatever you're able to donate here tonight. You can make a Cash App donation to $$ 7th Region Coalition 29. Just a note, if has recently changed, please make a Cash App donation to $ 7th Region Coalition 29, and may Allah continue to bless you and your families. We thank you from the bottom of our hearts, anything that you're able to give.
Brother Tony.
Yes, sir.
My wife and I, we want to make a $100 donation to that coalition. So give us a few. I don't keep a lot of money on the Cash App, but so give me a few. Brother Tony, if you don't see it by tomorrow, make sure you call me, okay?
I will. In all
Thank you
praise
so much.
Thank you so much for your support, brother.
Thank you so much, Brother Timothy.
And thank you for your service. You and Brother Sean, thank you for your service. Brother Sean's been supporting since the emergence of the 7th Region.
Yes.
I want to say something to Brother Sean.
Yes, sir.
Brother, I love you, man. I love you, brother. And I mean, I think you and I need to chop it up, man. And you know, it's a lot we can talk about, man, and maybe it's a lot we can do, bro.
Yes, sir. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, brother, because I mean, you know, we got a lot of brothers that's in the nation, man, that's in school, and maybe we need to not have a league, but at least have a
leadership.
Right, have a venue like this that where we can get together and we could chop it up. One of the things I saw tonight, brother, I saw you express what I feel, the depression and the anguish and the, you know, just a lot of stuff that you displayed tonight that I go through too.
Yes, sir.
But a lot of our younger brothers, they going through it in college and high school, and you know, because they trying to live the dream, brother. Yeah, I had that dream at one time, but when I went to college, that dream it became a damn nightmare, brother.
Yes, sir.
And I knew in college, when I got out of college, I knew I didn't want to play no more. And my wife at that time, she literally begged me to go to camp. She literally, because I just didn't have it, bro. It was because you spoke about the politics. The politics, that's, you know, every time, brother. You see cats sitting out there, you know, ain't better than you. They on the team.
Right.
You know, but just because the coach made a decision that was, you know, not favorable to the best player. You know, so we need to talk, bro.
Yes, sir. And I will say this before I close out. I want to thank the 7th Region Coalition again.
Yes, sir.
Because this was like an auditing session.
It was, there you go, brother. That's what I was trying to get at.
You know, right, I feel much better.
Yes, sir.
You know, now. And
you had to get it out, beloved.
Yeah, it's very therapeutic to get it out as well.
They tackle some engrams tonight.
Because we don't get to talk about these things. You know, we hold it in. And some my wife, she may not have ever heard before.
No.
You know, so I'm going to be looking for all those kisses she talked about.
Absolutely.
You know?
They're on the way.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But,
yes, sir. Praise be to
I thank y'all for giving us the opportunity to get this out of our systems.
Thank you.
And stay tuned, because this show will connect to other shows. So have your phones on, because not only this show is a pilot for all other shows. We have Sister Angelica show and it talks about healing. So she's definitely going to probably be reaching out to you. Brother James on Closing the Gap. They're definitely going to be reaching out to you. As you can see, Brother James already said good show. That means keep your phone on, because he's definitely going to be reaching out to you, because this is something that is needed. This is something that's long overdue. And like you say, you see all these Instagram and Facebook page that everything looks good, you know, but it's really not good. So we need to talk about what not is good. It's not good.
Right. That's
and
right.
We have to put that to the mirror and heal from it.
Yes, ma'am.
Identify and heal.
Yes,
and
ma'am.
that's what this show is all about. And I thank you all so very much from the bottom of my heart. From
It was a
opening
high
up.
honor having
This
both
is
of
one
you
of the
on.
reasons why I married my husband, because he was he was so transparent, and he just opened up his heart, and I just fell in love with his heart. So
Amen.
that is one of the things too that I just want to be mindful of our show, and our show is about helping save lives, and I'm pretty sure that we have helped save a couple of lives tonight.
Praise be to Allah.
Inshallah.
Brother
Allahu
Philip,
Akbar.
the floor is yours.
What is that?
What is that,
gator,
beloved?
brother. It's
A gator, bro.
Well, it just, Brother Sean, like, hey man,
Brother Sean's like,
it's funny enough. I'm taking. It just happened to be on. It really did just happen to be on my desk, Brother Sean.
Yeah, right, right.
Wouldn't that be interesting if I put? And it's actually from the Gainesville, Alachua County, events and tourism. We recently had I was recently in Gainesville, and I happened to pick it up. But this is not a gang. This is not a clique. This is what we call the 7th Region Coalition to help save lives. And we don't set trip. Brother Sean, Brother Timothy, we love you, brothers. And we're looking forward to the great work that's going to come out of this discussion. So on that note, we greet everybody in the greeting words of peace. And thank you for joining us. Assalamu alaikum.